Hello and welcome to one more session of poetry. This is a wonderful poem, Strange Meeting, written by one of the finest poets who lost his life a week before the First World War ended at the age of just 25. उसकी बात हम करेंगे उसके पहले हुजूर download, install, get all the free material that you can from this particular folder on the app. And now we talk about the great man himself, Wilfred Owen, 1893 to 1918, was one of the greatest English war poets of the 20th century. Of course, there was war, the First World War going on. Wilfred वहाँ पे निखर के सामने आते हैं. He was born on 18 March 1893 in Oswestry, Shropshire, England. From a young age, he developed a deep interest in poetry and was greatly influenced by the works of John Keats and the Romantic poets. तो Keats सर से बहुत प्रभावित थे. He was inspired by John Keats, the great man himself. During World War I, Owen joined the British Army and experienced the harsh realities of war firsthand. The suffering, fear, and loss he witnessed on the battlefield deeply affected him and became the central theme of his poetry. And that is why, in the first line, it is written he was one of the greatest war poets. He was at war. Unlike many poets of his time who glorified war, Owen exposed its brutality and showed how it destroyed the lives of ordinary soldiers. Now, this is something different. Normally, war was glorified. You're fighting for your nation, you lay your life for the nation, everything is all right. But Owen said, people get killed, families get destroyed. So that was different about Wilfred Owen. His poems are known for their powerful imagery, emotional depth, and realistic portrayal of war. Now, these are the words that you got to use in your answers. Powerful imagery, emotional depth, and realistic portrayal of war. Throughout his writing, Owen expressed sympathy for soldiers and strongly criticized the violence and futility, the uselessness of war. Sadly, he was killed in action on 4th November 1918, just 1 week before the war ended. But he gave us one of the finest insights into the psychology of a soldier. All right, theme of the story, as earlier जो भी words वहाँ पे use हुए हैं उनको फिर से हम देखेंगे. Strange Meeting is a powerful anti-war poem. Beta, you got to note it down that this is an anti-war poem. This is not the one that glorifies war, that highlights the horrors, futility, and tragic consequences of war. Through an imaginary meeting between a dead British soldier and the enemy he killed, Wilfred Owen shows that war destroys human lives without producing any real winners. जो भी countries लड़ रहे हैं, outright winner तो कोई नहीं है, everybody is suffering losses. The poem strongly criticizes the glorification of war and presents it as a meaningless and destructive conflict. Another major theme is the shared humanity of all soldiers. Although the two men fought as enemies on the battlefield, they realized after death that they were alike in their hopes, dreams, and sufferings. Owen suggests that soldiers are victims of war rather than true enemies, as they are forced to fight for causes beyond their control. Sometimes they don't even know what they're fighting for. They're just fighting in the name of the nation. The poem also conveys a message of forgiveness, reconciliation, samjhauta, and peace. The dead enemy does not seek revenge, but instead speaks with understanding and compassion. Through this imagined meeting, Owen reminds readers that hatred and violence only lead to loss, while peace, empathy, and mutual respect are the true values that humanity should embrace. So this can be used as a theme of the story. Poem basically, and now we start with the poem. Hold your seat tightly, put on your seatbelt. This is an amazingly emotional poem. So here we go. It seemed that out of battle I escaped, down some profound dull tunnel, long since scooped through granites which titanic wars had groined. All right. It seemed that out of battle I escaped. ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं लड़ाई के मैदान से कहीं निकल के, भाग के, कहां पहुंच गया हूं? Down some profound dull tunnel. But a profound is something that is very deep. All right, not deep in the sense कि वो गहरा बहुत है, the meaning that it contains. Profound dull tunnel. Now, dull tunnel means there is absolutely no energy inside. there is no sunlight to say, there is nothing that is exciting. So when you talk about dull tunnel, it means not exciting. Long since scooped, scooped ऐसे आप आइसक्रीम के स्कूप्स निकालते हैं, इस तरह से किसी ने मिट्टी निकाल के उसको टनल बनाया. Through granites, those rocks which titanic wars had groined. Titanic wars, the big wars of the past. लड़ाइयाँ होती हैं तो फिर of course trenches and tunnels, all these they take place. टनल बनाती है आर्मीज, ट्रेंचेस बनाए जाते हैं जहाँ पे सोल्जर्स खड़े होके जो है लड़ाई करते हैं या एटलीस्ट इंतजार करते हैं लड़ाई का. ऑलराइट, ग्रॉइंड. ग्रॉइंड इज समथिंग बट इट इज मेड लाइक ना दिस आर्क वाली सीलिंग जो हो गई, ठीक है, दिस इज ग्रॉइंड. ओके, इट सीम दैट आउट ऑफ बैटल आई escaped down some profound dull tunnel long since scooped through granites which titanic wars had groined. तो ये देखिए यहां लगता है इस जगह ये बंदा पहुंचा है. Yet also their encumbered sleepers groaned, too fast in thought, or death to be bestirred. Then, as I probed them, one sprang up and stared with piteous recognition in fixed eyes, lifting distressful hands as if to bless. And by his smile I knew that sullen hall. By his dead smile I knew we stood in hell. All right. Yet also their encumbered sleepers groaned. और वहां पे टनल में it was lifeless almost, but there were some people who were sleeping and they were probably groaning. Too fast in thought. या तो खोया हुआ है अपने racing thoughts में, he is not able to figure out what has happened, or death to be bestirred. Mean हम उनको out of जो पोजीशन में है मेंटली उससे हम उनको निकाल नहीं पा रहे हैं. Yet also their encumbered sleepers groaned, too fast in thought or death to be bestirred. You can't shake them. Either their thoughts were racing, they didn't realize what was happening, or they were simply dead. Then, as I probed them, as I kept kind of moving them here and there, trying to shake them up, one sprang up and stared with piteous recognition in fixed eyes, lifting distressful hands as if to bless. एक बंदा उसने आंखें खोली and stared with piteous recognition in fixed eyes. Stared with piteous recognition. मतलब आंखों में जो है एक pity जो you can see it could be about himself, it could be about the world, but his eyes held that emotion, that feeling of pity. Lifting distressful hands as if to bless. और अपने हाथ जो शायद बहुत मुश्किल से उठ रहे होंगे, he lifted those hands and seemed as if he was blessing me. And by his smile I knew that sullen, gloomy, sad hall. By his dead smile, that smile was almost dead. It didn't carry any brightness, any emotion that you normally associate with a smile. By his dead smile I knew we stood in hell. और उसकी स्माइल देख के मुझे ये अंदाजा लग गया कि I am in hell. And that is what this profound dull tunnel was. They were in hell. With 1,000 fears, that vision's face was grained, yet no blood reached there from the upper ground, and no guns thumped or down the flues made moan. All right. With 1,000 fears, that vision's face was grained. और जो आंखों में एक पिटी थी, ओके, हाथ उठ रहे थे as if to bless, and the vision of his face was coming out with 1,000 fears that particular soldier might have had. Yet no blood reached there from the upper ground. फिर भी ऊपर जो वर्ल्ड वॉर चल रहा है, लड़ाई चल रही है, जो वायलेंस हो रहा है, एक भी बूंद का कतरा नीचे नहीं आया है टनल में. And no guns thumped or down the flues made moan. और एक भी बंदूक चलने की आवाज, किसी के घायल होने की आवाज, कुछ भी नीचे नहीं आ रहा है. नीचे वो है और ये सामने एक ऑलमोस्ट डेड, इंजर्ड सोल्जर बैठा हुआ है. Strange friend, I said, Here is no cause to mourn. None, said the other. Alright, अब ये उसको बोल रहा है, हमारा पोएट उसको बोल रहा है, strange friend, here is no cause to mourn. यहां पे अफसोस करने का कोई रीजन नहीं है. We don't have to worry about anything. And this is a sort of an oxymoron. Friend is not strange, and stranger is not a friend. He said, strange friend. Here there is no cause to mourn. None, said the other. अब यहां से लेके probably till the end, this other soldier will speak. None, said the other, save the undone years, the hopelessness. बंदा बोलता हाँ सही कह रहे हैं. There's nothing to mourn, there's nothing to worry about, there's nothing that you feel bad about, except save the undone years, the hopelessness. सिवाय उसके जो साल हमने जिए ही नहीं. Save the undone years. Probably हुआ क्या है? These are young people, they were involved in a war, now they are in hell. And now this person says, there's nothing that you feel bad about except that we lived a very short life. There were dreams to be fulfilled. There were services to be rendered. There were things to be achieved and done. But the life was cut short. Save for the undone years. जो हमारे जीवन के साल कम हो गए, उनका अफसोस है. The hopelessness. Whatever hope is yours was my life also. I went hunting wild after the wildest beauty in the world, which lies not calm in eyes or braided hair, but mocks the steady running of the hour, and if it grieves, grieves richlier than here. All right. Whatever hope is yours, whatever hopes you had from your life, of the future, I had the same, was my life also. I went hunting wild after the wildest beauty in the world. और जो वर्ल्ड की खूबसूरती थी, I was crazy about it. I went after it. I went to get it. But which lies not calm in eyes or braided hair. It's not the physical beauty that I went after. It's not as if they are not talking about the love as we discuss between people. They are talking about the love for life, the energy that they wanted to exchange in their lifetime from the world around them. I went hunting wild after the wildest beauty in the world, which lies not calm in eyes. किसी की आंखों में नहीं भाई, आंखों का नशा वो नहीं हो रहा है. और braided hair, तुम्हारी जुल्फों के साए में बैठा रहूं, ये वाला भी नहीं है. But mocks the steady running of the hour. But ये वो beauty है जो कि समय से हारती नहीं है. Your physical beauty or life itself is a servant of the time. मैं समय हूं और समय जैसे से चलता है, खूबसूरती ना हो रही. You can't match the youth, right? How I looked at 25, 26. Oh my God, I was क्या बताऊं. Anyway, 48, not anymore like that. Yeah. So physical beauty time के हिसाब से रहती है, time से हारती है. But this beauty, the soldier talks about chasing is not a servant of time, but mocks the steady running of the hour. वो तो समय पे हंस रही है कि तुम्हारे कंट्रोल में नहीं है बॉस, हम इटर्नल हैं probably. And if it grieves richlier than here. और अगर किसी चीज का अफसोस होता है तो फिर वो यहां से ज्यादा होता है. Grief. All right. For by my glee might many men have laughed. For माने because हो सकता है कि अगर मैं खुश होता तो मैं बहुत लोगों को खुश कर लेता. If I would have laughed, many people alongside would have laughed. For by my glee, by my happiness, might many men have laughed, and of my weeping something had been left which must die now. And by my weeping, and of my weeping something had been left. कुछ तो बचा हुआ है, which must die now. I mean, the truth untold. The pity of war, the pity was distilled. I mean, the truth untold. हम जो सच बताना चाह रहे थे, now we can't go back to the world and tell the truth. So they remain the untold ones. The pity of war, the pity war distilled. War जो अपना असर छोड़ता है, the consequences of a bloody war, of the violence, of the deaths, of the injuries, of the families breaking down, people getting killed, इनकी बात अब कोई नहीं करेगा, because we are not there. Now men will go content with what we spoiled. And now the men who are still alive, they will go content, they will be satisfied, संतोष रहेगा उनको, which with what we spoiled, जो हम खराब करके आए हैं वो लोग उस चीज से contented हैं, खुश रहेंगे. और discontent, boil bloody and be spilled, या फिर discontent, boil and be spilled, या तो फिर खून बिखरेगा, फैलेगा. They will be swift with swiftness of a tigress. And these people, the warmongers, they will be really alert. Alert like a tigress, swift like a tigress, stealthy like a tigress. None will break ranks, though nations trek from progress. Beta, none will break ranks means the entire world is seeking war. लड़ना चाहिए, मारना चाहिए, इनसे लड़ लो, उनसे लड़ लो, हमारा देश सबसे आगे. कोई इसके खिलाफ नहीं बोलेगा. Nobody will go against it. Nobody will say, no, this is not the right thing. This is not the final solution. We need to find some other way. But nobody will talk about it. No one will break ranks. कोई भी बाहर निकल के आएगा और ये बात नहीं बोलेगा. Though nations trek from progress, हालांकि the nations, they start falling back on the way that is just the opposite of progress. मतलब सारी progress रुक चुकी है. In fact, रुकना क्या है? अब हम वापस Stone Age की तरफ जा रहे हैं. Why? Because war destroys. Courage was mine and I had mystery. Wisdom was mine and I had mastery. To miss the march of this retreating world into vain citadels that are not walled. Courage was mine and I had mystery. अब ये अपनी qualities बता रहा है कि I was brave and I was mysterious. I was charming probably. Wisdom was mine. I was wise. I could use my brains and discretion to take the right decisions. And I had mastery. I had the skills. To miss the march of this retreating world. कैसा world? Retreat कर रहा है जो progress के रास्ते पे आगे बढ़ने के बदले पीछे आ रहा है into vain citadels. Vain means beta you have a kind of arrogant confidence, but that is useless. It is not of any use. Vain citadels. Citadels जो forts किले होते हैं. Vain citadels that are not walled, which means they are not secure. The world may believe that they are secure, they are safe, but that is not the case. Then, when much blood had clogged their chariot wheels, I would go up and wash them from sweet wells, even with truths that lie too deep for taint. I would have poured my spirit without stint, but not through wounds, not on the cess of war. Foreheads of men have bled where no wounds were. All right, let's try and understand this. बंदा बोलता है, then when much blood had clogged their chariot wheels, clogged, ब्लॉक कर दिया, इतना खून बहा ना कि उस जगह से अब उनके व्हील्स निकल नहीं पा रहे हैं, जम गए हैं. I would go up and wash them from sweet wells. Biblical. I would go up and wash it with Holy Spirit, water, sweet wells. Even with truths that lie too deep for tent. और हो सकता है कि मैं उन truths को भी बोलूं जिनको आप कभी टेंट नहीं कर सकते. You cannot put any blame on such truths. उन पे कोई भी दाग धब्बा इल्जाम नहीं लगा सकते. I will be using those untainted truths as well. I would have poured my spirit without stint. और मैं पूरा जो Holy Spirit की बात है, I will pour it without any limit. Without any limit. But not through wounds. लेकिन लड़ के नहीं, किसी को मार के नहीं, किसी को घायल करके नहीं. Not on the cess of war. War से नहीं. The taxes that war puts. The suffering that war gives us, not through them. Foreheads of men have bled where no wounds were. और लोगों के foreheads वहां से भी खून निकले हैं जहां कोई घाव नहीं था. This speaks about the mental stress the soldiers and the families and the people go through when the world is at war. तो जरूरी नहीं है कि wound हो और तभी माथे से खून निकल रहा हो, हम परेशान हो. Mental stress of going through the futilities of war. कहता है मुझे गोली नहीं चलानी है, मुझे लड़ना नहीं है. हर वो जगह जहां से खून निकल रहा है, जरूरी नहीं वहां पे कोई घाव हो रखा हो. The person may not have fought a physical war, he might be fighting a mental war. I am the enemy you killed, my friend. And अब वो बात आती है. शुरू में उसने क्या बोला? That I was in hell. And now this soldier, he reveals the truth that I am the enemy you killed, my friend. मैं दूसरे देश का सोल्जर हूं, तुम्हारा दुश्मन, और तुमने मुझे मारा है. I knew you in this dark, for so you frowned yesterday through me as you jabbed and killed. And actually, he killed this soldier just a day earlier. And hence this soldier could recognize him. कि यार डार्क में भी ना मैंने तुम्हें पहचान लिया था. For so you frowned yesterday through me as you jabbed and killed. I parried. I tried to deflect. If you're coming to jab me, I'm trying to deflect. I parried, but my hands were loath and cold. My hands were unwilling. They did not respond to my orders, and they were cold. Let us sleep now. अब आ जाओ, तुम भी आ गए हो, हम यहाँ पे हैं, सो जाते हैं. We're not enemies anymore. We don't need to fight. We don't need to listen to people who say, let us go to war. There's no need to go to war. Let us be friends. Let us sleep. अब हम आराम करते हैं. Highly emotionally charged poem. And what a thought at that young age. Just understand the depth of thought that Wilfred Owen had. Because remember, he just lived till 25 years. उसके पहले ये पोएम बंदा दुनिया को दे के गया है. On the theme of futilities of war. Amazing. Critical appreciation देख लेते हैं बेटा. Let's get out of that emotional zone and let's just get back to being mechanical again. Strange Meeting is one of Wilfred Owen's finest anti-war poems. You would agree that, even at least I agree. It presents an imaginary meeting between two dead soldiers, one British and one German, in the afterlife. Through this unique setting, Owen exposes the horror and futility of war. I keep repeating these words, beta. Futility of war. Showing that both victor and victim suffer equally. कौन जीता कौन हारा दोनों मर गए यार. If you want to read Hindi, kindly go and try reading Kurukshetra by Ramdhari Singh Dinkar. In that, Duryodhan says to Yudhishthir, I don't remember the lines, but I'll give the gist. He says कि हम तो मर के इस तरफ आ गए हैं, अब जो बचा है जाओ राज करो इस पे. So he's kind of mocking Yudhishthir कि क्या जीत लिया तुमने. And that is the whole idea of the war. Nobody wins. You're just alive. That's it. The poem is rich in imagery, symbolism, and irony. Imagery है, symbolism है, और irony है. The underground tunnel symbolizes the world of the dead, while the conversation between the two soldiers emphasizes their shared humanity. Use it in your answers. Owen's use of vivid descriptions and emotional language creates a powerful atmosphere of sorrow, regret, and reflection. Yes, philosophy आ रही है ध्यान में अब. The irony lies in the fact that the enemies become friends only after death. कल तक लड़ रहे थे, कल ही मारा है तुमने मुझे. But now, let's forget all that. We are friends. Let's sleep. Let's rest. The poem's tone is serious, reflective, and compassionate, making its anti-war message deeply moving. Owen does not glorify war. Instead, he reveals its devastating impact on human life and lost potential. Lost potential. I was chasing the wild beauty of life. It was cut short. Save the undone years. याद है वो line? Yes. Strange Meeting remains a timeless poem that encourages readers to reject violence and value peace, understanding, and brotherhood. पूरा आंसर सामने है दोस्त. And the vocab part, please be very, very, very particular about getting all the words in your head, because ultimately सारी प्रॉब्लम जो होगी लाइफ में वोकैबुलरी की ही होगी, तो उसको अभी से हैंडल करना शुरू करो बेटा. एंड फॉर दैट, download, install, get the free material, you get this PDF there, you get the words there, you can learn them, repeat them, revise them, use them, become good. Thank you for being with me for so long. Bye-bye.